Hello and welcome to another episode of Queer Abbey, a weekly chat show that is performed, recorded, and produced by yours truly. Hi y'all, and welcome to the 6th episode of Queer Abbey. I am coming to you live from my little apartment. I'm so excited to say. I spent the last week very laboriously moving everything with the help of one of my lovely coworkers and then getting everything unpacked and arranged. I am a Cancer and a Cancer stellium. Like, I have almost my whole chart, half of it is in Cancer. So I have this huge fixation on my home space in my life, I feel. Cancer is the 4th sign of the home and the mother. It's represented by the scarab or the crab because of their hard shell and their soft interior. And to me, that represents the kind of inner world, right? And a big part of that is the space that you call home. People have varying degrees of fortune and comfort in their home space, and I think it's something in our life that we get to celebrate, some of us, which is, like I said, fortunate. So I'm feeling a lot of gratitude right now to be in this very cute little apartment that I've decorated with all of my cute little things. Yay! I got a toaster oven, and I think I'm rich now. I'm just kidding. But yeah, just good things happening. Now it feels like summer has actually started for me because I've been anticipating this move for a while and getting prepared, packing all of my stuff, and now my body is like, oh, okay, what now? I took the longest nap today after work. I worked in the morning and I didn't sleep enough last night, so when I got home, I absolutely clonked out. And I woke up at like 10:30 p.m. and now I'm in that interesting sort of twilight, but it feels really good. I would actually liken my state of mind to that of like around a holiday or something. I haven't been this excited to just exist in a while. I mean, between transitioning, moving into my last year of school, and having a fairly new job, there's so many things that I'm kind of getting accustomed to. The temperature is all starting to feel a little bit more comfortable, which I'm happy about. Life has a way of being frickin' chaotic, and I don't think that's ever gonna die down completely, but I'm taking this time to account for my peace. Yay! Sidebar, I would assume that most anybody that listens to this podcast called Queer Abbey probably knows about Chapel Roan already. They're this very cool pop star that's on like a meteoric rise right now. They did a Tiny Desk concert a few months back, and then they performed at this huge festival in New York. They've been pulling all of these very cool and stunty looks, and they've gotten very notorious for the things that they've had to say about the political landscape, about being queer. And yeah, they're basically just this big gay drag queen, and they rock. But the reason I bring it up is their signature look. It's been really hot. It's like this white face, almost like tacky on purpose, toddlers and tiaras type gig. On the Tiny Desk concert, they, like I said, had like a white face with a really garish blue eyeshadow, or garish is the wrong word, it's garish on purpose, but and this very teased up big red hair that they have with a little crown and like a very juvenile dress. Well, the person that created this makeup look, we didn't go to school together, but I met them at Pride one time, and I actually know them. Their name is Sterling, and she is this lovely, very wickedly talented drag queen and makeup artist that now lives over in New York. She's painted a bunch of celebrities. She's worked with Pat McGrath. She's painted Detox from Drag Race. She has painted now Chapel Roan. And I'm actually in disbelief seeing how far-reaching their artwork is, because they slap this gorgeous mug on Chapel Roan, and then I'm literally seeing people copy it on TikTok. It's like a cultural phenomenon. So that's just awesome. I cannot fathom sometimes how big our actions can be, you know? And I'm kind of proud to see like a hometown queer person painting another queer person and then having this profound impact on the culture. So amazing stuff. Sterling was this very outgoing and talented queer person that I kind of looked up to. We're both from Idaho, so that's how I know them. And yeah, super cool. Chapel Roan. I love that bedroomy 80s pop is coming back. There's like a not quite disco-y, but fun, driving, almost disco-y kind of feeling to the pop music that's been hot right now. Charlie XCX and Chapel Roan, Sabrina Carpenter. It's all pretty fun. So I'm happy about the direction that Hot 100 music is going right now. Speaking of new music, a little teaser for later. I have an awesome musical spotlight lined up. From the Earl Gracious Band, there is a single that came out just 2 days ago, according to the date that this podcast comes out, called Hey Boy, which is going to be like a funky, disco-y little groove tune that I think you will love. So look forward to hearing that in a minute. I love drag queens so much. I went to a drag show on my 21st birthday and had the best time. I think some of the most key, fun moments in my life were in queer spaces, led and heralded by drag queens. In Idaho, when I was 16, oh my god, this is actually where... No, this is the second time that I encountered Sterling, actually. There was like a Pride prom event that was happening in Idaho, and a drag performer named Erica Gaga, she did like a Lady Gaga impersonation, but she sang live, which is kind of unique. Most drag queens do some sort of mix or like lip sync performance or something of that akin to that, but she sang live to Lady Gaga's songs and danced with dancers, and she had like costume changes, and I saw this shit for free at some sort of event center, and bless whoever put that event together, because that changed my life, to be honest. I had seen Drag Race at this point. I saw that when I was 12, and that also really opened my worldview. But being in person and experiencing the galvanizing, electrifying energy of other queer people all coming out of their shell and realizing that it's safe to do their wacky little dance moves and start like badly voguing and stuff, it was awesome. I will never forget that. And so yes, I witnessed Sterling and another friend. They kind of started like this little dance line situation, and that night just ended up in so much dancing, sweating, glitter, all you could really ask for at a drag event. And that inspired me to start stretching to learn how to do a death drop, or actually, it's kind of problematic to call it that. I've now learned as an adult that it is a dip, and death drop is a little bit of a misappropriation of the dance move. There's a whole refined history to queer dance and voguing, which is also a black art form, and that's interesting. So in Idaho, my awareness of that was kind of low when I was introduced to it or had a formative idea, but I would love to get back into voguing and learn more about that scene. I know that there's balls that happen in Portland, but I think it's sort of maybe more of an East Coast thing. I'm not sure. That's something Wilson will learn more about. Sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm like really high and tired, I like to watch videos of people at balls, like battling. It's really fun. Venus Extravaganza has this viral video of them dressed as like Sailor Moon and voguing against somebody else, and it's just insane the way that people are able to contort their bodies and move and create this artwork in real time in an improvisatory type fashion. It almost reminds me of jazz music. It's a similar virtuosity that it draws upon, where people have such a refined understanding of their body and how to move and how it comes across, and the music and all of that comes together to create this performance. And it's also commentary. I mean, queer people and queer Black people doing this dancing it was about power and taking power that almost like doesn't belong to them in a way. The categories at Vogue balls are like schoolboy realness and executive realness and things of that nature, which are the idea is that you're fitting yourself into these parts of society that you kind of don't fit in, like an executive realness, being the CEO of a business, even though you're some weird queer person, right? And that's so powerful, because delusion is a tool we can use to create a better reality for ourselves. It's not always healthy, but it is human to dream and to just that, to kind of lie to ourselves. Fake it till you make it, baby. Drag is magic. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, you will achieve. Alright, well that brings us nicely to our advice segment this week. Alrighty, let's jump right into it, boys and girls and everyone in between and outside of that as well. Submission number 1. Queer Abbey. I keep having panic attacks after I take edibles. I've never gotten panic attacks before, and I even consider myself an extrovert. But about a month ago, I decided to take an edible, which I've taken before and had an enjoyable experience with. This time, however, I end up having a panic attack while high, but then feel fine after a couple hours. It was extremely terrifying, but I felt fine when I got home. However, that night I kept thinking I was still high and kept having panic attacks about it. Ever since this day, I've kept getting panic attacks and my sleep schedule has been destroyed. Help. Well, the drama is here, mama. Edibles can be kind of a condemning thing. Anyone who knows me knows that I love weed. I love edibles in particular. I love how specific they can be, that you can dose yourself with a specific milligrammage and know how high you're going to be and how it will affect you. Some edibles are strain specific. They're made with extracts that are derived from one particular strain, and so that's even more finite in its effect. And so something about that feels very cool to me, but babe, not everybody likes weed, and that's okay. It's perfectly fine. I think that marijuana can really exacerbate people's lack of connection with their surroundings. It can increase people's anxiety and get them to just kind of stick in their head and not be able to get into their body and out into the connection with other people. It's not a cure-all or a panacea for everything at all. How unfortunately, just like mushrooms, people discuss it that way, where they're like, oh, mad, smoke weed. Sad, smoke weed. Too horny, smoke weed. Not horny enough, take an edible. It's just, it doesn't fix everything. It does do something, and you might like that or you may not, and it depends on the time of day and you, etc. In regards to the panic attacks, Like I said, THC can induce feelings of panic because it's changing the way that you're perceiving your surroundings, and that can be really jarring if it's not something you're accustomed to, or just jarring in general, right? But let's also think about correlation versus causation in this scenario, because you reported that the panic attacks continued to happen. However, there's no way that the THC could continue passing through your blood-brain barrier and affecting your perception for more than, 8 hours maybe. 12 hours would be a safe assumption. After that, the THC has all metabolized into your fat. Sorry for banging around. The THC metabolizes into your fat, and it's no longer causing those panic attacks. At that point, it's you, my friend. Anxiety is real, and you're not insane for having those feelings, but it's something that was triggered inside of you by the high that you experienced. It's not like the substance entered your brain and caused this thing to happen like a parasite. It's more psychosomatic in nature. And the same could probably be said about the panic attacks that are induced by THC. It's not that THC causes your brain to go haywire. It's that, again, it changes your perception, and you may go a little haywire as a result of that. The only advice I can really give for getting through a poor high would be to brace yourself and let it happen. I guess it's not great advice, but eating something, drinking some water, doing all of the things and checking all the boxes that you know you're keeping yourself safe and healthy, that's usually what makes me feel better. If I'm like in this miserable mindset, even if it's not from drugs, taking a shower, eating something, drinking some water, doing those 3 things, cleaning my space, that usually fixes it, to be honest. That's also not a cure-all, right? There are real problems that we have, but when it comes to issues of perception, there's usually something that we can do about it. So, a little long-winded, but yeah, you don't need to use edibles if they make you feel like shit, baby. It doesn't make you cool to spend money on weed and lose brain cells. It's better if you don't. Next one. Okay, submission 2. Queer Abbey. Should I still listen to musicians despite this pet peeve? As some of you may know, I do not like belly button piercings. I will not freak out if I see one, but it will definitely arouse displeasure from me. There are some decent musicians that I'm familiar with who have a belly button ring. However, I have avoided intentionally listening to their music because of this piercing. Now, you're probably worrying why I care so much about their piercing. Well, I grew up being constantly judged and mocked for my choices in life by my family and relatives. In addition, to achieve a platonic or even romantic relationship, people must shape their personalities and beliefs to fit in with society. Personally, my problem is that by conforming to society, I'm not deciding what's best for myself. That's why I've decided to make some of my own decisions, which include not listening to music from artists that have belly button rings. Since I don't like belly piercings, no person can accuse me of liking belly piercings just because I listen to Billie Eilish. This goes hand in hand with my concern about being judged because I don't want people to think that I have rejected my own beliefs by listening to artists with belly rings. People say that humans can change their beliefs, but I seriously don't like belly piercings. I think that they ruin the belly button, which is already an intriguing body part. I don't want to let go of my dislike of belly piercings. I'm not sure whether I can like an artist's craft, but disapprove of their choice to get a piercing. What can I do? Wow. This is probably one of the most intelligent and thoughtful submissions I've received so far on this show. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional. What a brave thing to say. I also hate belly button piercings, and I have no advice to give you. I think you're completely correct. Okay, next. Our third and final submission this week is also from an anonymous user, and they stated, Queer Abbey, should I pursue art or theater? I'm looking to start college, and I'm still torn between either visual communications or music/theater. My family wants me to go with visual communications because it's something I can do from home, mostly online, and there's more job opportunities. But music and theater is my passion. I had several lead roles in high school, and I just landed a lead role in a summer musical I'm doing, even after being off stage for 6 years, so I guess I still got it. Ever since high school, I've wanted to go into theater and acting, but my family steered me away from it, saying there's no job prospects and it's too cutthroat. I'm paying my own way through, and I just feel inside that I should follow my passion, but maybe my family's right, and I should be logical. Stick with the one that will offer more stable job opportunities. I'm torn. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Well, as somebody who is studying music production, I think you know the answer that I'm going to give you. College is for you, and you could die tomorrow. So I think that you should ultimately do the things that you want to do. That seems to be the most important thing. Your happiness is worth more than anything else in life. Listen to that again. Your happiness is worth more than anything else in life. And let's try to be equitable and economical when we think about that, because instant gratification is not always the most profound form of happiness. Happiness is a long-term relationship that we have with ourselves and our ability to manifest and give ourselves the things that we need and want, right? If you know that you love doing theater, then you should do that. Also, though, you might know that you need a place to live. I think I've talked about this very dichotomy before, but we live in a capitalistic society, so it is true that you need to think about how you're going to pay for your life. If you are a trust fund kid, then go study theater. Who fucking cares? Do whatever you want. If you are like me and you have to make sure that you don't become homeless by breaking your leg or something, then maybe you need to do something difficult, like save up some money for a year and then go study theater so you have a little cushion. But the more important thing is that you get to do what you want. Spending your life making sure that you're secure is a waste of your time. So yeah, there's a balance there. I think you probably want to take the risk and just go study the thing you want. If you weren't able to get some sort of theater related job and that's your goal, then do something else. But follow your heart. It's ultimately the smartest thing to do. Yay! Well, with that, that's going to conclude our advice segment for this week. Thank you. You people are so weird. Whenever I open the anonymous Google Forms thing, I am always surprised at what people have to say. I expect the school-related questions about being gay, questions about having a job, I don't know, things that I'm somewhat qualified to speak on. But the belly button piercing one, thank you for that. That's the kind of fresh material we've been looking for here at Queer Abbey. This is your reminder that you can totally submit your stories or questions to us using the link in the description of the episode if you want to submit anonymously, or you're also welcome to reach us at our email, which is queerabbey@gmail.com. That's QueerAbbey@gmail.com. Or you can send us a voicemail or a text at our phone number, which is 503-567-2053. Yay! I'd love to feature you on the pod and give you some of my very, very good advice. But enough of that for now. It's that time of the evening for our musical spotlight. Once again, the stunning artistry of my friend Katie Waterland is going to be featured on this song. They are currently a part of a group called the Earl Gracious Band, which is comprised of a few other Portland locals. And yeah, they make this awesome, funky music. They have a really cool sound. And I don't think they need much introduction. It's a fucking awesome song. It's called Hey Boy, and it has some very cute, almost whimsical little lyrics, and kind of a little like call and response type feel. So without further ado, this will be Hey Boy by the Earl Gracious Band.
One look and I'm losing my breath, steady thinking if you ever be mine. Hey boy, I can't get you out of my mind. You move those hips from left to right, I swear you can dance all night. Hey boy, what you trying to do? What you see is what you get. Move on, I'll take your time.
Ow! Okay, how hot is that song? You guys should absolutely go check out the Earl Gracious Band on Spotify. The song from this week's musical spotlight, Hey Boy, will be linked in the episode description. So go ahead and go there right after this episode. Thank you. I love a cute little bass line and a funky little chorus. There's something so good about it's hard not to like, you know? If I'm not mistaken, they just played the Waterfront Blues Festival here in Portland as well, which is a really cool thing. They hold it every year, and they have a bunch of folk and blues artists come and perform on the waterfront, which is this very cool park in the metro area. It's beautiful. It can get a little spendy to get in, but if you can find a way to subsidize your ticket, it's a super fun time. Yay, blues music. Well, that's gonna bring us to the eclipse, the end of this week's episode of Queer Abbey. I thank you all for tuning in and for your continued support, and I hope that you enjoy. Farewell, and I'll see you next Sunday. Thank you for tuning in.